Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy, Slushy, bringing you guys another inspirational, instructional YouTube build video for update 49 on Dragonknight. With the updates with Dragonknight coming this patch that just dropped, they made the class a lot more skill-based, so there is a skill ceiling now for the class, and I will walk you through how all that works here in today's build video. Sit back, relax, get your water, get your coffee. If you guys enjoy my content, I stream almost every day on twitch.tv/perpaleslushy, so definitely come over there. We're live almost every day. A lot of DK stuff is going on right now on my stream, so if that interests you, go ahead and leave me a follow. But before we get into today's video, I'm going to show you guys a couple fights that I had yesterday on the class. Then we will actually get into the build, talk about how the build works. Then we're going to take a look at the build, all the gear, and then actually take a deep dive into the skills and the combos and how to be efficient with the class. So let's go ahead and take a look at those fights and then take a look at the class. Let's get it. Alright, so with update 49 and Dragonknight, there are a lot of things that changed with the class, and in doing so, what I want to do is talk to you about those changes, but from a Magic DK perspective, because that is what I decided to spec into with the change. I am going to give Stamina Dragonknight a chance and try it out here in the future, but for right now, I'm going to be sticking to Magic DK and just trying to get that down pat until I try out Stamina DK. So the first thing that I want to talk about with Dragonknight is going to be the changes of some of the skills. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is going to be the Deep Breath skill is now Soul of Flame. So let the fire within you draw heat to your soul, restoring 15% of your missing Magicka and stamina every 2 seconds over 4 seconds. So what you want to do with this skill is basically you're going to keep this skill up every like 3 globals. So a global is like a cooldown. So every skill that you do is basically a global. So every 3 globals, you're going to want to be keeping this up. It's very similar to how Curse works on Sorcerer, where you use Curse and then it will explode after. But in doing so on DK, this is going to be how you're going to keep up your resources on the class and keeping up your mag. So if you're not consistently keeping this up, you're going to be really struggling a lot with your resources. Next ability that I'm using is going to be Shatter Spike Mantle, which is going to be giving me that physical and spell resistance buff. Next is going to be the Flex slot. Now there's a lot of different skills that you can rock in here. Chains of Devastation is an amazing skill. It gives you Major Berserk for 6 seconds, as well as Major Evasion for 10 seconds. The only problem with this skill is the uptime on Major Berserk is not that high, so getting out your combo on this class can be difficult, because with Magic DK now, the changes that they made, they did make the class a lot harder to play, so getting Chains of Devastation up right before your combo is tricky. Some other slots or skills that you can run in the slot would be things such as Quick Cloak. It's going to be giving you that Major Evasion for 30 seconds, reducing damage by AoE attacks by 20%. And then it's also going to be giving you Major Expedition, but you can also get Major Expedition for your wings, so this is really not needed unless you want that Major Evasion. Another really good skill to rock here is going to be Fossilize. Fossilize not only stuns, but also immobilizes targets after, which is kind of bugged right now, and it sometimes can cause people not to be able to break free immediately, which is really strong and a big reason of why I use it a lot of times in PvP. Another skill that is really good is going to be Hearth and Home. This skill not only heals you for 1400 health every second, but also is going to increase your health recovery and generate 1 ultimate every 1.5 seconds, and you also gain Major Protection in it, reducing damage taken by 10%. And then not only that, enemies inside have their movement speed reduced by 70%. So altogether, this skill is a really insane skill to use as well, and it's really good also not only making people slow when they enter it, but if you need like time to get yourself out of a sticky situation, slowing people down by 70% and then running away from them like when you're getting Zerged and Cyrodiil is a really big help. The next skill is going to be Fleet Step Wings, and this skill is freaking awesome now. So this is our wing skill, but this is basically our stun. So this is going to be an AoE stun that stuns people for 1.8 seconds in a 360-degree radius around you. So it's really insane for getting those people off of you. And then it also reduces damage taken from projectiles by 50% for 6 seconds. And it also grants you immunity to snares and immobilizations, and grants you Major Expedition for 4 seconds, increasing movement speed by 30%. So I highly recommend rocking Fleet Step Wings. This is like a mandatory skill that you need to have on your DK almost all times, especially when you're in Cyrodiil and you need that multi-tick AoE stun, as well as that reduction to range projectiles, so like Crushing Shock, those Crushing Shock gankers, as well as those Mercilesses that all those subclass classes have because they all are using Assassination. Really OP. Now, this is where the class gets fun and where it actually comes into maintaining everything to proc your Flame Lash, but also giving you crazy damage. And this is where the skill comes into the class and where the class actually has like a skill gap now. Proccing your Flame Lash. So as you can see, I get a Flame Lash dealing 8k, but if you hit an enemy with off balance, it grants 5 stacks of Power Lash for 20 seconds once every 20 seconds. Activating again consumes a stack, dealing 15k Flame Lash damage to your target and all nearby enemies, and heals for 10k health each time you use it, consuming all stacks. As a Dragon Knight, increases your damage done by 7%, doubles against monsters for 45 seconds. So this skill is freaking amazing and super OP. The way to get off balance now is going to be either using Soul of Flame. Whenever someone's channeling, it will stun them and set them off balance, but most of the time you're going to be getting off balance through heavy attacking. So once you heavy attack, you'll notice knock it off balance. And then if I go into Flame Lash, you can now see that I have more Flame Lashes built up, and as you can see, the tooltip on them is a lot higher now, and that's not even me fully buffed up. If I were to fully buff up with everything here, let me take a look at this. We can see that it's at 22k Flame Lash, and that's for 5 of them in a row, which is super insane. And once that 20 seconds goes away, you will then be able to proc it again by simply heavy attacking, getting them off balance, and then procking it here. Once it's procced, you have the ability to use all of your other abilities, and as you can see, you have 20 seconds to use all 5 of those. So that's why you're going to go and buff up, get all of your buffs up and everything, and then go to work on that Flame Lash. We'll get more into that and how that works here in a little bit. On my back bar, Igneous Weapon. This is going to be my Major Brutality and Sorcerer buff, increasing my weapon and spell damage by 20% for 1 minute. It also, while active, dealing damage with light or heavy attacks, causes additional flame damage up to once every 2 seconds. Blood of the Elder Dragon is going to be your heal. This heal is freaking insane. You heal for 10k and you heal near allies for 6,500, increasing up to 50% based on additional health missing. Heal targets gain major fortitude and minor courage, increasing health recovery by 30% and increasing weapon and spell damage done by 215 for 20 seconds. So really strong to have this up all the time, and this heal is really insane as well. Vigor, obviously a best HOT in the game, which is a heal over time. Always want to rock Vigor. Incinerate, so activate an aura of flames, which launches a wave of flames every 5 seconds, dealing 6,085 flame damage to the enemies inside. Each hit has a 15% chance to apply burning. While slotted on either bar, you gain Major Prophecy and Savagery, increasing your weapon and spell crit by 26-29. Last but not least, we have Disintegrating Dragonfire. This is going to allow you to deal 5,500 flame damage and apply the burning status effect for an additional 8,600 flame damage over 10 seconds to the enemies in your path. The initial hit liquefies the armor of your enemies, applying major breach to the enemies for the duration, reducing physical and spell resistance by 6k. I also rock Corrosive Armor on the back, so Corrosive Armor now limiting incoming damage by 6% of your max health and dealing 5k flame damage to nearby enemies for each second for 10 seconds. While active, your direct damage attacks ignore enemies' physical and spell resistance, but you cannot generate ultimate, so Corrosive Armor is freaking insane. Take Flight on my front bar, so this does 14k flame damage, knocking everyone back, and it also stuns them. If the target or monster is it says right here, if the target is a monster, they're instead knocked up into the air. Upon activation, you are filled with Draconic Fury for 15 seconds, increasing your damage done by 10%. So this is really strong as well. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the gear, and then we're going to take a look at actually like how you actually use the class. So taking a look at the gear, it's nothing too crazy. This is what I rock. For right now, I'm using 2 Swords of Oakfather. I have a disease enchant on one. I haven't figured out what I want to put on the other one yet, so I haven't put anything there yet. I am rocking 5 Oakfathers. Heavy Chest of Trainee. You always want a heavy chest on Trainee on almost every build, as it one piece grants you that health, but also having reinforced heavy chest is very important. There's a lot of different monster sets that you can rock. What I found best for me for open world is going to be Roxa, just because sustaining on the class can be hard, but probably Biss is going to be Bloodspawn. If you don't have a problem with resources, you can definitely rock Bloodspawn, as getting as much ultimate as you can is going to really make this class as OP as possible, because having more ults will make you stronger, because the ults actually like do crazy damage now. So getting as many ults as possible is crazy. Gerals, this is really insane too. You can reduce people's healing by up to 35%. This is really insane. Gerals, it's cracked. Balorg's is good. I haven't really used it too much. I used it like once or twice and it was nice, but honestly, when it comes to the monster set, it's really down to whatever you want to rock. Like whatever really fits your playstyle, go ahead and do so. And then on the back bar, I'm rocking Rallying Cry with Monomyth. Now for Cyrodiil, I do rock all Swift. As you can see, I was dueling, so I have all infused on right now. But you can rock Protected 2, or maybe go like 1 Protected, 2 Swift, 1 infused, 2 Swift, all Swift. This is really comes down to your play style and how it works for you. But the class has a lot of innate damage, so you really don't need the infuse unless you're dueling and you want, you know, Bis damage for the duel. When it comes to the other things, I'm also rocking all in pen and then reinforced chest. Swords are sharpened, and then the back bar is an Ice Staff of Rallying Cry. It has a weapon damage enchant and it's defending. When it comes to my attributes, I am 11 into Magicka, 53 into Stamina, and I have the Shadow Mundus Stone on, and then I do use Bewitched Sugar Skulls because you do want as much stats as you can, because we are a pure class now, we're not like hybridizing or anything like that, so you want to maximize your top stat, as well as you don't really need the recovery from or sagas, and you would be missing out too much stat-wise if you drop the tri-stat food, but you're more than welcome to try it out. Whatever way works for you is going to work for you. Real quick before we get into how you combo, taking a look at my champion point tree, it's not anything too insane. For the top tree, I'm rocking Cleansing Revival. Healing a target under 25% removes all harmful effects from them. So basically, it's a free purge that you get once every 25 seconds when you heal yourself under 25% health. With how many dots are being put onto you now with all these DKs, and also other people having a dot when you don't have or having a purge when you don't have a purge on your kit, in your kit, just through the CP is really strong. Mastered Arms, increasing my damage done with direct damage attacks. Ironclad reduces my damage taken by direct damage attacks, and then Duelist Rebuff reduces damage taken by single target attacks by 3%. When it comes to the red tree, I'm rocking Celerity for that increased movement speed. Pain's Refuge reduces damage taken by 2% for every 2 negative effects up to a maximum of 20%. Sustained by Suffering increases your health recovery by 150, Magicka and Stamina recovery as well whenever you have a status effect on you or a negative effect, and then Boundless Vitality for extra health. Now you can take off Celerity. Now this is where there's kind of a couple different things you can do. You can take off Celerity and rock like Survival Instincts. This is going to make it so your core combat skills cost 25% less. So like blocking, roll dodging, things like that is going to cost less. I was rocking it at first, but then I honestly liked Sustained by Suffering more. And then also, like, if you don't want to rock Sustained by Suffering, or maybe you don't want to rock Celerity, you can also rock Fortified as well, which gives you 1700 armor, which makes you a lot more tanky. So it really comes down to what you want to rock. There's a lot of different flex CP that you can run, so it's completely comes down to playstyle. And then for green CP, War Mount, Gifted Rider, and Steed's Blessing. All right, now getting into how the actual class works. So you want to make sure that you have your weapon and spell damage buff up. You want to make sure that you have your Dragon's Blood buff up. You want to make sure that you have this skill right here, which I forget the name of it, Incinerate buff up, right? Once you have that up, then you want to make sure that you have your spikes up for your spell and physical resistance. You want to make sure that you always have up your Deep Breath, so your Soul of Flame, and then also you can have up your wings. I mean, this only lasts for 5 seconds, but if you're in a fight, that's how you're going to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all our buffs up, then we're going to hit them with the Disintegrating Dragonfire, and then we hit them with our Deep Breath, and then we stun them, and then we can go in with our Flame Lashes. But the first thing that you do at the beginning of every fight, fully buff up, you're going to go in for a heavy attack to get that off balance. So it's the first thing that we're going to do. Once you get your off balance, you're going to proc your Flame Lash to get the whip started. And then you're going to swap your bars, make sure you have your Vigor up, hit them with that Dragon Fire, swap back, hit them with Deep Breath. Then if you have chains on, use your chains to get that Major Brutality, and then go in with your whips. Also, another thing too, I didn't have ult to show you there, but I'm going to go ahead and throw up my ult. So the way that this works with ults is going to be, you want to have all your buffs up. You want to make sure that you're getting your off balance. Okay, once all your buffs are up, what you're going to do is you're going to Dragon Fire, then you're going to Corrosive, Deep Breath, then you're going to go in with your chains, then you're going to stun them with your wings, and then you're going to go in with your whips. So you always want to make sure that you're getting your stun off before your whips. If you don't have chains, you could rock like Petrify. So like Petrify, and then you can go in with your whips. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for a full combo here and show you how it's done from the start. So get everything buffed up here. All right, here we go. And I didn't have my... the first thing I should have did there, and I already fucked it up, but the first thing... Can anybody... I'll give you guys 2 seconds to guess what I did wrong there. Alright, if you answered, you did not have your flame, your leash procced off rip, you would be right. So that's the first thing you always want to do, is make sure that you get that off balance going, so you can get that whip going. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna proc that. And what we can do as well is I can heavy attack with my Destro as well to get the off balance as well. So if I want to start on my back bar, I can do it like this. So make sure I get everything. Just like that. And that's basically everything, the way that you do it. So again, the way that looks like. Make sure we're fully buffed up. Alright, let's try that again. Just like that. And that was 10,000 DPS lower than the first one. Most likely because I did not proc my Flame Lash fast enough. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, this one's going to be way slower for sure. So, okay, that was a little bit higher, 37. But it just takes practice. As you can see, the discrepancies between all of the DPSs that I got is all dependent on like how you are maintaining your buffs and the order that you're doing everything and making sure that you have everything procced at the right time. That's why the class is a lot more skill based now, because in open world and everything, it's hard to get off your off balance and keep all your buffs up. And then at the same time, you're in light armor, right? So you're going to be like pretty squishy. So learning to play defensive until you have that opportunity to go offensive is really, really important. But that just comes with time. I could probably go over a little bit more of that tomorrow in like a tips and tricks video, but I just wanted to get like a quick build video out there for you guys for today. But if this was something that you guys enjoyed, please go ahead, leave a like and a comment down below. Again, I stream almost every day on twitch.tv/purpleslushy, so I hope to see you guys there. Until next time, it's been your boy. Peace.